Well, you could see on the video, so we kind of knew since Saturday, but it does change. They're different kind of guys, and they've done different things. Now, I know Coach Canada has been established in his offensive system for a long time, so it's a little bit tricky. I'm not sure what they're going to do. We need to be ready for everything they've done, and you know, they've had some really fantastic output offensively at times, so big challenge.
Would you agree that your linebackers have played much better the last couple weeks, especially last week? And if so, what's brought that on?
Well, I'm maybe in the minority. I think the linebackers have had a steady progress this year. The last two games before this one, we didn't tackle well at the position, which was not what it was like the rest of the season. I thought we tackled, I don't think. We had 20, you know, all season we had single digits, and then Purdue we had 20 missed tackles, and then Nebraska we had 15, which is, you know, just couldn't explain it. And then Michigan State we had 3. So, you know, that's where we belong, in the single digits, and it's amazing when we do that, when we tackle well, how things go better.
Is part of the explanation just like slippery dudes you're trying to tackle? How much is it? Do you feel like that no matter the opposition you're facing, your tackling fundamentals should stay the same, or sometimes do you acknowledge some teams have guys who are hard to tackle?
Well, I acknowledge guys have, there's no doubt I acknowledge that, but yeah, I think sometimes it's, you know, Michigan State has good players too. It's just, I think sometimes, what the heck?
Thought it was Urban, didn't you?
Didn't know. Love you too, baby.
Slippery, where was I?
Slippery players. I used to get my ear grabbed, but it definitely has a factor on who you're tackling. There's no doubt. I just think that we kind of bear down on it a little bit as a unit, and we need to do that again this week. This week they're going to put us in positions where we have to make tackles in space, and that's the challenge. You know, they do an incredible amount of trading, shifting, motioning, and then they hand the ball to speed sweep guys that are going laterally. So there's going to be times when we're in open space and we're going to have to make one-on-one tackles.
How much of a difference has Brendan White made?
Excuse me?
How much of a difference has Brendan White made?
You know, Brendan's played really well. He is a good example of working really hard and improving and being prepared when you get a chance. And when he got his chance, he cashed in on it, and then he did well again last week. So we're very encouraged there. I think he's got a bright future.
Is it coincidence of him stepping up, and then the defense seems to have been tightening the last week and a half? Is that just coincidence?
No, I think certainly has something to do with it.
Yeah.
That's been you know, we've had some breakdowns in the secondary, in the tackling area. Brendan came in and I thought tackled well, coming out of the middle of the field and coming out of the quarter. So he did it in both instances. And I think Sean Wade as well is getting better each week. So took longer than we would have liked, but I think it's starting to click.
Well, what do you see from Malik Harrison just basically compared to like 5 or 6 weeks ago? Where have you seen him just truly improve? Maybe in football awareness? What's going on?
Well, you know, I thought Malik did some really good things weeks ago. I mean, you go back to that Penn State game, he's shadowing you know, the quarterback on third downs and made some big plays. I think sometimes what happens is when plays are made, they're attributed to certain individuals, and it's not always the case. But I'm not going to get in here and say, "Oh no, it wasn't him. It was him, or it was me." You know, we're a unit. We work together. That's the way we roll. So I think sometimes it's mistaken.
Greg, there was more off-the-field stuff today that Urban had to take time to deal with. Does that stuff manifest itself in this building? If so, how?
Well, you can't let it. I mean, we have a responsibility to the university and to our players. So, no, we're in game plan mode Monday and Tuesday, and get everything ready for practice, and that's exactly what we did.
How do you keep it from being a distraction?
You don't have a choice.
Game prep.
Yeah, you can't. You don't have a choice, because one thing I learned a long time ago in coaching is Saturday's going to come. So whatever time kickoff, this week it's noon. Noon's coming. Whether you're ready or not, nobody cares. So you have to be ready. Otherwise, you let a lot of people down. So you just, and it's not just in things like that. It's everything. You know, it has to be something really, extreme to break. And I know some people think that's crazy, but it has to be something extreme to break you out of your routine, because it takes the formula that we've set up, it takes all that time to get ready for a game. And if you cheat it in any one area, it's going to come back. And he did, and I'm excited about that. I think he's feeling more and more healthy, coming off the injuries. And you got to remember now, 2 surgeries in the spring, both shoulders. So that obviously you have to heal from those, but you don't practice, you miss time and all that. So I think he's worked himself into a position where we really are going to need him down the stretch, and he's ready to do it down the stretch, which is good. So I think we'll continue to work him in the game in certain situations. First of all, I might tip my hat to him, because the way that he has worked through all this, it's incredible. You talk about a guy who's got resolve. I mean, this guy has fought through so much adversity. And, when you coach a guy like that, you just root for him. You want him to have success. Not that you don't want anyone, but, extra, because of all the stuff he's been through. So I'm hopeful that, that he can and we can write the end of his career in a really good story. That's what I'm looking forward to.